Hello everyone, it's me, Minx Laura 123. Welcome to this book themed video. Yes, this video is going to be all about books. I am a very proud bookworm. I love to read. So in this video I'm going to be doing a kind of show me tell me with books that I have, okay? So first of all I'll start with the books that I've read recently, then the book that I'm reading currently, okay? And then showing you some books that I've bought but I haven't read yet. They're on my to read list, okay? So before I do anything I have to put my glasses on, because if I don't have my glasses on I can't read anything. It's all a bit kind of blurry. So on they go. Okay, so these are the last two books that I've read, okay, and honestly they are so good, seriously. So the first one is called The Secret by the Lake, okay, and it's by Louise Douglas. And the other one is also by Louise Douglas and it's called In Her Shadow. Okay. So basically, start with this one, which is The Secret by the Lake. I was actually in Waterstones looking for some new books to buy, like I am pretty much all the time, and I was just drawn to this book. The cover of it just looked, I don't know, so kind of enchanting, and it's kind of pulled me in, you know. So I picked up the book, read what it was about, and I was like, yes, I have to get this book. I do believe that you're kind of drawn to books, like you're meant to read them, you know, you're meant to find them, they're meant to find you, kind of thing. And I have to say, this is one of the best books I've read in ages. It's so good, okay? So I'm going to read the back of the book just to tell you what it's about. And of course this is an ASMR video, so I'm going to be doing some nice book tapping sounds and sounds of the pages. Okay, so it says, a family tragedy. Amy's always felt like something's been missing in her life. When a tragedy forces the family she works for as a nanny to retreat to a small lakeside cottage, she realises she cannot leave them now. A sister's secret. But Amy finds something unsettling about the cottage by the lake. This is where the children's mother spent her childhood, and the place where her sister disappeared mysteriously at just 17. A web of lies. Soon Amy becomes entangled in the sister's story as dark truths begin to rise to the surface. But can she unlock the secrets of the past before they repeat themselves? I absolutely loved this book. I pretty much read this book in a day. I think it was a whole day and a little bit the next morning. I had to know what happened. A real kind of page turner. Literally, I just sat there and I was like, you know, just couldn't wait to get on to the next page. The characters are great, the story was great. It was just really well written, dark, mysterious, thought-provoking, emotional, quite a few twists and turns which I loved, and it was just brilliant, seriously. And once again I have to say about the artwork, I think the cover is just so beautiful and mysterious looking. So I really, really recommend this book to you. I love that. No secret stays hidden forever. Wow. But yeah, brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant book. So basically what happened, I read that book and I just wanted to read more books by Louise Douglas. So I went online, done a bit of research, and I found out what other books she did. So yeah, this was the second book that I got. Once again, I was drawn to the cover of this one. I like that kind of book cover, you know, like mysterious looking book image, and I was just, yeah, really excited to read this because I loved the other book by her so much. And I will add that Louise Douglas is such a lovely, lovely lady, because I'm a bit of a fangirl when it comes to authors, and I went on Twitter and I found her, and I just tweeted her to say that the other book was good and I've got this one to read, etc. And not only did she reply, but she's been replying to me and messaging me, and I find that really sweet, and it means a lot to me because authors are so amazing and so talented, and I do get a bit fangirl about them, you know, and to have them reply and just make me feel special is really nice. So thank you, Louise, if you're watching this. And I honestly think not only she's a lovely lady, she's a really, really talented writer. The books that she writes just make you feel like you're really kind of in the story, like you're part of it. It feels so real. And this one was amazing as well. So yeah, it's called In Her Shadow. She thought she'd left her past behind, and now it's coming to find her. Before Ellen, things were easier and less complicated. They were either good or bad, right or wrong, black or white, and understood the difference. Since Ellen, everything has been coloured in shades of grey. So I'm going to just read you what it's about, okay? I don't want to give too much away. I hate watching book-related videos on YouTube, and they kind of give too much away about the story because it kind of ruins it for me when I, eventually get to read the book. But I'll tell you a bit what it's about. One ordinary morning at work, Hannah Brown glimpses a young woman with dark hair, wearing a green coat spattered with rain. The woman is identical to her childhood best friend, Ellen, but Hannah believes that Ellen is dead. Could it really be her? For a moment, it is as though the past 20 years have never happened. Life becomes dazzling and exciting again, and Hannah remembers how it felt to be young and strong and without regret. Then she thinks about what happened to Ellen and to her all those years ago, and she's filled with a terrible fear. Because the seemingly idyllic Cornish childhood she and Ellen shared ended in obsession and betrayal. Has Ellen returned to forgive her or to punish her? It was so good, seriously. I really, really recommend this book, as the other book as well. I'm just going to make some ASMR sounds here with the book. So yeah, thank you once again to Louise just for taking her time to, communicate with me and just make me feel really happy that, she actually acknowledged me, And she's done lots of other books, so I'm going to be definitely getting those as well. I think once you find an author that you know, really like and appreciate their writing style, you just want to kind of read everything they've done. I don't know if you're like that, but that's how I am. So there you go, they are the two books that I 100% recommend you check out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so next up I'm going to talk about and show you the book that I'm currently reading. Okay, I'm so mega excited to have this in my hands, you don't understand. So basically, I'm a huge fan of the Mortal Instruments book series, okay, and I just love them so much. Like every book that I've read, both the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments, have just been amazing, out of this world, amazing. And I feel like when I enter the kind of Shadow Hunter world, I'm literally in the world. I don't know, it's weird to explain, but I'm a huge, huge Mortal Instruments fan. So I waited a whole year for this to come out. You know, and it's just like so like exciting when you finally see it in the bookshop and you're like, wow, I have to get it. So yeah, it's by Cassandra Clare and it's called Lady Midnight, and it's the first in the series of the Dark Artifacts series. Okay, so yeah, first of all, the cover, how gorgeous is that? And I mean, all I can say is I'm just in love with the look of it, you know what I mean, the cover. But look at this, we've actually got like green, like an aqua green turquoise on the side of the pages, which I think is really nice. I know it's more important what a book's like when you're reading it, but I don't know, I think the look of a book is important too. And this looks really good just sitting on my bookshelf. So yeah, we're back with the Shadow Hunters, but it's a new character called Emma Carstairs, okay. And how many pages in am I? I'm 102 pages in, so far so good. And yeah, it's with her partner Julian Blackthorne, and she patrols Los Angeles, where vampires party on the Sunset Strip. Fairies, the most powerful of supernatural creatures, teeter on the edge of war with shadow hunters. So I think by the sounds of it, this is a bit of a kind of murder mystery, a mix with fantasy, because there's been some murders, and Emma is kind of on the lookout to find the murderers, because it looks like they could be the same people who killed her parents. If you haven't read the Mortal Instruments series, please do, because you know, it's part of a series, so I'm not going to go too much into what it's about, because if you haven't read it, you won't really understand the whole series thing, but they all follow on, and you get to know the characters and the history of the characters and the story. So it feels good. When I'm reading it, I feel good. It makes me happy. It's so good so far. It says here, search takes Emma from sea caves full of sorcery to a dark lottery where death is dispensed. Who really killed her parents, and can she bear to know the truth? It's so exciting. I love this. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you're a Mortal Instruments fan, please check out Lady Midnight. And if you're not a fan, then please become a fan. You will not regret it. They are a great book series. Also, this is really like embarrassing but true. I'm, as I say, a bit of a fangirl when it comes to authors, and Cassandra Clare has to be one of my favourite all-time authors. So when this came out, I took a selfie holding the book, and I sent it to her on Twitter, and she actually tweeted me back saying that it was a nice picture and she's pleased I had the book, etc. Wow, I was so happy and excited about that. I think I've got to wait another year for the next book, so it's going to be eagerly anticipated. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. Now I have loads of other books on my shelf in the bedroom, but I've just kind of selected a few of them that I've got next to read. So the first one is a vintage Collins book, and it's called The Haunted Hotel. Once again, this was the same day that I got the other book. I was just drawn to the cover, and I like that kind of dark, mystical look cover of a book, you know. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be quite a spooky story, which is great. An eminent doctor is visited by a desperate woman with a question: am I evil or insane? When an Italian servant stops sending letters to his wife in London, she is convinced he has been murdered. In the darkened bedroom of a mouldering palazzo, is that? Palazzo? By the Grand Canal, an English lord sickens and suddenly dies. How are these little mysteries connected? Spend the night in room 14 of Venice's finest hotel and find out the truth, if you dare. I like it. It looks only a small little book. You can see it's not like a really big thick book or anything. But I don't know, I think it's going to be really good. It's got a feeling. And on the back it's saying about the woman in black. So whether it's quite similar to that, and I love the woman in black, so yeah, excited to read that. Next up is The House of Velvet and Glass. And this is by Catherine Howe. I've read one of her books before, The Deliverance Dane. That was a really, really good book. So I was drawn to this book once again for the look of the cover. Found it kind of drawed me in, and also because I knew that I'd read Catherine's books before and I really liked it, so kind of encouraged me to want to read another one of hers. So it says, 1915, and the ghosts of the dead haunt a wealthy Boston family. Sybil Alston is devastated by the recent deaths of her mother and sister aboard the Titanic. Hoping to heal her wounded heart, she seeks comfort in the parlour of a medium who promises to contact her lost loved ones. But Sybil, overcome by visions, finds herself in a strange new world where she can never trust that what she sees or hears is real. Believing she may be the victim of fraud, she turns to psychology professor Benton Jones. and as the pair seek to uncover the mystery of her visions, Sybil and Benton are drawn into the opium dens of Boston's Chinatown and the upscale salons of fashionable society, where sinister mediums and occult practices are rife. So it looks quite a dark, interesting story. One of the reviews says it's a transfixing tale of black magic, hauntings and real life tricks that will keep you up all night. So yeah, looks good. Okay, now this next book I've had on my to read list for a while now, so I will get round to it soon. It is Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, and I don't normally read kind of autobiographies. I'm more into kind of fiction books, okay? But I'm a huge fan of Zach. He's just like one of the coolest dudes ever. I love the show Ghost Adventures. It's me and Nathan 123's favourite show to watch, and I was just fascinated about him and his life and his experiences with the paranormal. So yeah, Nathan got me this book, and I keep meaning to read it, but I don't know, I always get kind of swept away with like my fiction books, but I will read this very soon. It's called I Am Haunted, Living Life Through the Dead, and of course it is by Zach and Kelly Krieger, so I don't know if she kind of wrote it with him, but there's the cover. It's a pretty cool cover. See the spirits kind of got their hands on Zach. So I'm really interested in the paranormal, and I just want to know more about him and his experiences, etc. So it says paranormal investigator Zach has travelled all over the world seeking answers to life's deepest and most terrifying mysteries. What happens when we die? Why do some spirits move on while others remain stuck in some sort of in-between place? And what do the spirits really want from us? Zach has dedicated his life to finding out the truth. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. And there's some really nice artwork inside, and like pictures of Zach, who is kind of easy on the eye, some may say. I have to say he's one of my celebrity crushes. He's just kind of a cool dude. But I'm generally a fan of the show. I think it's just such a great show. I was a bit kind of sad when Nick left, but I think the show's kind of carried on fine, do you know what I mean, without him on it. So yeah, Zach Bagans' book. Okay, and last but by no means least, so this book is called Beside Myself, and it's by Anne Morgan. There you go. Now this, I was actually out shopping at Tesco's just for like, you know, food and drink, etc. But I don't know, I always go to the kind of book section in a supermarket, I can't help myself. And I was drawn to this cover. I just thought it looks like really cool, and I don't know, I just get drawn to books. What can I say? So yeah, it looks good. Helen and Ellie are identical twins, like two peas in a pod, everyone says. The girls know that this isn't true though. Helen is the leader and Ellie the follower. Until they decide to swap places just for fun and just for one day. But Ellie refuses to swap back, and so begins a nightmare from which Helen cannot wake up. It just sounds pretty cool and like proper like gripping. And it says on the back here, this book is the stuff of nightmares. Compulsive, dark and strikingly well written. So yeah, I go to get like bread and milk and end up with a book. So they are the books. Please tell me if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned in the video, and you know, your opinions on them, or tell me what book you're currently reading and what you think of it, or if there's any books that you're after reading that you've heard are really good. And also, you know, maybe tell me your favourite book that you've ever read. You know, I think my favourite book of all time, it's hard because I love the Mortal Instruments series, but I have to say my favourite sort of standalone book would be The Night Circus, and I don't know, it kind of changed my life, which sounds really dramatic, but it's true. I used to read a lot when I was a little girl, and then over the years reading kind of got less and less, to a point where I didn't really read at all, apart from, you know, a magazine or newspaper. And then I read The Night Circus, and it just, I don't know, it really affected me. Like, I loved it so much, and I loved reading because it was just relaxing and a kind of escapism from real life, you know, and the stress that we face every day. I just found myself in this kind of fantasy circus and wanting to know about the characters, and I don't know, it kind of made me a reader again, you know. And then I read another book and another book and another book and another book, to a point where I'm literally a total bookworm. So yeah, The Night Circus, very dear to me, and so well written, so dark, mysterious. Apparently it might be a film in the future, so that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, check The Night Circus out if you haven't already. But yeah, just leave me some comments and tell me if you want to have me do more videos like this, more kind of book related videos, because as much as I love doing like ASMR role plays and stuff like that, I do love books. I'm very passionate about books, and originally when I started my channel, it was supposed to be ASMR videos, vlogs, book reviews, film reviews, but as time went on I kind of went down the path of mainly ASMR and a few vlogs. But I really want to start doing more book related videos here on the channel. I know I've got a lot of viewers, you know, who do read books as well, so yeah, just let me know if it's something you want me to do more of. I hope you do, because I love talking about books. Look how happy I am. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to be quiet. I'm just going to do some book tapping for you, so you'll still hopefully get those tingle, 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 tingles, okay?